Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm back here at Furman BMW because guess what? We have it for you first. This is the 2020 BMW M8. Let's talk a little bit about M8 history. If you go back to the 1990s when the M8 was available, you used to get a wonderful naturally aspirated V12, 550 horsepower, top speed right around 200 miles an hour. Eventually, because of the recession and things changing and everything, the M8 went away, but now it is back and back with a vengeance. So we've done the review of the M850i. This though is a true M car through and through, underneath the hood, at all four corners, and the bodywork. But let's go ahead, dive into this all new 2020 M8. Right off the bat, we're talking about aggression. Headlight style, full LED of course. I love the direction that BMW has gone with their daytime running lamps. Their halo design was so iconic to the brand, but they integrated it perfectly to where they're able to carry it into the future, and it's still a great brand identifier. All blacked out in the housing. I even like the addition of the blue just to give it that extra pizzazz. Now as we go down, you'll see full functional venting. You have a little bit of gloss black going on, but that's going to be full venting for the cooling of that twin turbocharged V8. Crazy amount of power. Little bit of a gloss black extension, and then we come across the front and you have that kidney shape, or should I say butterfly shaped grille. This grille design has been associated with BMW for so long. You can see, especially with the width of the M8, how they've stretched it to make it look more like butterfly wings. There's our M8 logo with the motorsport colors. Remember, M stands for motorsport. This is a true M car. We have the iconic BMW logo, and then as we work down, a little bit more gloss black, and just everything is all open. I'm very glad that they went same hexagonal design on the corners and in the center, and I'm really liking this very minimalistic vertical bar grille for the butterfly kidney design. Very, very sharp. I think if I was gonna option this one though, I would go with a whole blacked out grille rather than the chrome. Now, as we go up onto the hood, M8, such a distinctive car, has very distinct body lines, 4 of them, 2 in the center, and then 1 on each peak. As we come around the corner, talking about M performance, we are gonna get an M specific wheel. So this wheel design with the machined aluminum, you're looking at a 275 on the width, 35 series sidewall. It's a 20-inch wheel. Lurking behind there is a massive 6-piston Brembo caliper with the motorsport badging on it. And then check out that rotor. That thing looks like a UFO from Mars. That is definitely one of the largest rotors I've ever seen on a BMW product. Fully cross-drilled and ventilated. It's gonna make sure that you stop on a Danish pastry and give everybody Bavarian cream. I've used that one before and I know a lot of you like that one, so there you go. Into the fender, we have the M8 badge. I like what's going on with the heat extractor on the side and the way they have that extension at the top. The chrome is nice because it does match with that front grille area. This one being a convertible, we decided to just drop the top, and you can see just very slim lines. The length of the M8 is actually quite surprising if you've never seen one in person. It's kind of like a large car, to be honest with you, but with that M performance under the hood, you're gonna have plenty of get up and go. I do like the sill extension as it gets wider, and then it kind of tucks itself back in. And then when we're looking at the rear tire setup now, up front you had 275s, out back you got 285s. This one has all-wheel drive. Really nicely done, machined aluminum with the gunmetal gray, even the rear rotor. That makes other cars' front rotors look like a joke. That's the kind of stopping capability of this car, and the all-wheel drive is gonna keep you planted no matter what. We come out back, nice trunk lid spoiler. I am gonna zonk it though, this should be carbon fiber. This is an M car. Should be carbon fiber. You got your very distinct LED taillight. I love the M8 badge, so much shorter than an 850i, M850i with the X-Track and all that. Large quad exhaust tips, fully functional with a diffuser, great look. Even the flared out portion, and I like the way that they took the DOT required reflector and kind of tucked it in there instead of having a fake vent. Nice and sharp, just needs a carbon fiber trunk lid spoiler. But why don't we go ahead, pop the hood of this German Bear and see what's powering it. All right, guys, we got the hood popped. Of course, hood struts. Underneath that engine is some German engineering. Underneath the hood is some German engineering there. 4.4 liter V8 twin turbos. So at the end of the day, 600 horsepower, 553 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission. And like I said, all-wheel drive. The great news about the all-wheel drive, it does have a rear-wheel drive mode where the power will go just to the rear wheels. 0 to 60 in this convertible, 3 seconds, quarter mile to 11.2, and it's got a speed regulated top speed of 155 miles an hour. This is no lightweight though, 4,650 pounds. Now looking underneath the engine, I love that engine cover. A mixture of carbon fiber, the BMW M Power. Other than that, I wish there was just a little bit more carbon fiber or some carbon fiber bracing like you find on an M3 or an M4. But why don't we go ahead, let's get to the best part. Let's fire up this V8 and see what it sounds like. All right, guys, we're in the 2020 BMW M8. I could hear the roar of the exhaust, especially this being a convertible. You're really gonna get that extra boom from inside. Now, I know you're probably wondering, well, Joe, this seems like a bad mamma jamma. Lots of power, top-down fun. How much is it? MSRP, the way that this one is optioned, is $157,000. Let's see what we get for the money. To the door panels, I love the stitch work. Absolutely breathtaking. The quality there, the brushed aluminum on the speaker covers, the silver trim, and I like the tan material. It really breaks up the darkness of the door with all the other material there. Large pocket down low for whatever you need to put in there, especially on this crazy roller coaster of a ride kind of car. Full leather. I love the brushed aluminum around the AC vents, the nice stitch work here, and then you're gonna get that beautiful horizontal infotainment system. It is touchscreen, which is really great, very fast reacting. There's our navigation there. We could go back, we could go into car settings, you could go into the M menu. That's gonna be my favorite. This is where you could configure your M1 settings with your switches, everything all on, really nicely done. You could turn things on and off. You can see just how fast it is. Let me go ahead and put it in reverse. I wanna show you how clear and just everything and look, the car is even the same color there on the screen. We could go into camera. You could change all the different settings for your camera and whatnot. Very easy to figure out and to function. As we toggle down, you have your dual climate control. I like the way they placed that, and I really am digging the silver design on the AC vents. Even the controls feel really, really nice, as they should in a car that costs $157,000. Ventilated and heated seats. Slim and trim on the radio controls, and then somebody spilled a bunch of carbon fiber all over this place. We open it up, 2 cup holders, wireless charging, a USB. We close it back up. You have your M stitching on the shifter with the M logo embossed there. The iDrive control, which allows you to control everything on the infotainment system. Whether you want to touch the screen, you could use this. Look, I'm going to zoom in. There we are at Furman BMW. I'm going to zoom out. And here we are above Florida. We just left the whole place. So go back to map. There we are. That's Earth. We live there. M mode, you hit M mode and that's gonna bring up road or sport. Very easily done. You could quiet or make the exhaust louder, whatever your choice. You know which way I'm going. This is the switch to put the top up and down, which is very easy, and I'll show you that. Nice anodized red here on your start stop button, and then the leather on this armrest, baby butt smooth, bombs away, felt lining everywhere, so you're not going to scratch any of your candy, or you could put apples in here, a few apples, and they're not going to get bruised. That's how nice that is. Another USB and a 12 volt. We close it up, and then these seats, wonderful. M8 logo, nice venting here, all the way down the stitch work, even the dark material really has a nice variety of things going on with your full power assist, of course. Even your frameless auto dimming mirror, very, very nicely placed. But why don't you get on over to the business end? I want to show you behind the wheel of this M8. All right, guys, business end, behind the wheel of the M8. Now, one thing I want to point out, you only have 2 memory settings, which I'm surprised. I'm surprised they don't give you like the industry standard of 3 at a price point of $157,000. So I am going to zonk that. I do like this brushed aluminum though, and this M8 logo lights up at night, nice and bright for you to see. Key fob, of course, you're going to get your BMW M key fob. Love those motorsport colors, so much race history. I remember being at the 12 Hours of Sebring and seeing that BMW prototype car just perform like no other, or when it went on to win the 24 Hours Le Mans. Crazy history with a lot of fun racing going on. Steering wheel, they took this right out of a race car. The thickness, the stitch work is beautiful. Heated steering wheel, you have all your buttons for lane keep assist and all that good stuff. Paddles behind the wheel. Now I am going to zonk them because they're kind of on the smaller side and they're not metal, so that to me seems that that's a missed opportunity. The dash though is a thing of beauty. It looks purely so 21st century. You have your tachometer, your speedometer, it's got a boost gauge, coolant gauge, fuel gauge, and then you have all your settings here where you could adjust everything from the suspension settings with the adaptive dampers, the steering weight, and everything else. That's how you're able to personalize this car to your experience. Let me go ahead and put the top up really quick and show off how nicely the top is going to go up and down. So you just go ahead and you pull up and you see the operation of the top, cloth top on this M8. Really clean. I love that tonneau cover. 1, 2, 3, it's up. And then if you want to put it back down, real easy. And I'm going to have Tom show off the back seats. No, I'm not getting back there because I don't feel like getting my legs crushed. But Tom's going to show off the back seats and just show that, yes, 2 people with or without legs can definitely sit back there. I think if you're taller, you're probably going to want to fold your legs up because it's kind of tight back there. But why don't we go ahead, check out the trunk space and see how usable this M8 is for your next trip. All right, guys, time to open up the trunk of this M8. Of course, you have electric assist. Top is down, and you can see the amount of room that you have with the top down. You're basically looking at a trunk volume. I know some people wanted this, 12 cubic feet. And if you notice, whether the top is up or down, it's not going to take away that space. And also for those trips, MPGs, 15 in the city, 21 in the highway. I like the little side cubby area that you got going on here. You also have a nice, safety kit and whatnot. You want to close it up, it's real easy. You push it, but if you're ready, I'm ready for this trunk to slowly close. Let's take this M8 for a spin. All right, guys, we're leaving Furman BMW. We're in the M8. I have everything set to Sport and Sport Plus. The heads-up display is ginormous on this thing, but it has a ton of information from your gear to the tach, the speed limit, and a speedometer. Very, very comfortable in here, even with the top up. We're going to leave the top up just because I want you to be able to hear what we're saying on the inside, obviously, but very, very smooth. This is a car that you could easily drive every day, yet you have 600 horsepower on tap from the loud pedal at any given moment. That's what makes this thing so very impressive. But on throttle, holy God, the power from those twin turbos into this right-hand bend. Wow, all-wheel drive, here we go. Wow, the pops coming from the exhaust as it goes through the 8-speed. And what's interesting is, remember, the 8-speed is not a DCT, but they've definitely done their homework with getting those shifts to quicken up for sure. Very smooth. Visibility out the front is great. Even for being a convertible, visibility out that rear window with the top up is actually not too shabby. But on the brakes feel good, of course. Those massive calipers. Here we go, on throttle. The power in this thing, the speedometer just, it's almost like a slot machine. It's just, it's spinning so fast. It's unbelievable. The power, the traction. You can put this, like I said, there is a rear-wheel drive setting to this setup, and it's interesting because a lot of times on all-wheel drive cars, all 4 tires are the same exact width and sidewall and everything. These, remember, it's 275s up front, 285s on the rear, and I think they did that for a couple reasons. Obviously, a little bit skinnier on the width is going to quicken up the steering, and then you'll have a little bit more meat on the back from when you are doing rear-wheel drive mode. I love what they've done with the materials, the carbon fiber, that horizontal screen, 12-inch display is amazing. Amazing display in front of you for all your instrumentation. It's really a mind-blowing car, you know, and obviously, would I personally buy one? No. I would take my money and go get a Porsche 911 4S or something like that over this car. I'm not really the biggest lover of the M8. I can appreciate what it is. I'd rather have an M2 or an M3 or an M4, to be honest with you. Really, to be happy, I would M2. Totally fine all day long with a manual transmission. You won't hear any complaints out of me. I don't need a $157,000 car to enjoy driving, that's for sure. But even just in normal traffic here, very, very smooth. And these seats, they have almost the perfect combination of great bolstering and great comfort. They could use a little bit more bolstering, especially on the bottom portion. I could feel on the side of my legs, it's just not gonna do the business if we were at a track event or whatnot. You'd really have to brace yourself in the seat so that you're not sloshing around, but super duper smooth in this thing. And over bumps, even in the sports setting on the suspension, it soaks up bumps very, very well. Convertible top, a lot of times with a convertible top, you're gonna lose the rigidity of the car once you cut the top off, but they've done a great job with maintaining all that. And of course, it's BMW. I mean, they've been racing cars for decades, and not only racing them, but also winning as well. Here's a little fun fact if you didn't know, if you're not a Formula One fan, remember, even BMW raced in Formula One as well. So they have a lot of racing heritage, not only in German touring cars, 24 Hours Le Mans, but also Formula One racing, which is really, really great to have that, that variety. Let me get back on throttle. This car is gonna inch out on me. On the brakes, jeez. The G-forces as you're getting on the brakes from throttle. Here we go, we're off, all-wheel drive. Wow, look at this thing, unbelievable. You know, BMW's been working very hard with trying to get back that meaning, the truth behind the ultimate driving machine. And they've been putting more work into their steering. It's feeling really good from where I'm at. The feedback is really great. Obviously, I'm not on a racetrack, so there's only so much I can do, but even in this long sweeper here, very nice. Very, very nice. The weight is great. You could adjust the weight if you don't want it too heavy. You could adjust that, which is wonderful as well, depending on what your driving situation is. But even in this right-hand bend, very, very smooth, very controllable on the brakes. Brakes feel great. Jeez, you could shed double digits really, really fast in this thing. All right, guys, we put the top down. I know I said I wouldn't. I want you to be able to hear that booming V8 from the back of the car on throttle. That's some top-down fun. And to be able to hear that amazing sound coming from the back of the car is just second to none in this thing. Just unbelievable how the speedometer just, like I said, it looks like a gas pump. It looks like you're fueling up for fuel. When you get out of the throttle, you get a nice little reverberation coming from the exhaust. Watch. Nice. On the brakes. I'm going to put it in a manual mode, manual shift mode here, and give you a little bit representation of that. First gear on throttle. Here we go. Oh man, I tell you. Do you need this car in your life? Maybe not, but boy, do you want this car in your life? Hell yes. I would go coupe and I still would go M2, but this thing, if you want the ultimate, this is crazy. And remember, $13,000 more and you go M8 competition, which is gonna get you even more performance at the end of the day, but it is $13,000 more on top of that. Very smooth though, very, very smooth. This thing is freaking ridiculous. You know, I remember reading an article that Carroll Shelby thought that high performance cars, those days were over decades ago when the muscle car era came to an end. This thing is a muscle car. I mean, to have this much power in something so drivable, unfreaking believable. That's what this thing is. It's unfreaking believable. All right, guys, from a dead stop, here we go. All-wheel drive. Unbelievable. I mean, I'm not even gonna tell you what we got up to speed-wise. It definitely was over the speed limit, I know that. But hopefully this gave you a nice overall feel of what the M8 is about, especially in convertible form. I can't wait to do the coupe, and I'm hoping that the coupe will be competition, M8 competition, so that we could just bring you the ultimate, most badass M8. But we're gonna go ahead and get back to Furman BMW and wrap this one up. So I'll see you in a few seconds. All right, guys, it's been a wonderful day here at Furman BMW. This M8, what can we say? The performance, the style, it's nice to see that BMW is willing to take that motorsport magic and put it across their lineup, from their cars to also their SUVs as well. Is this something to go up against other supercar convertibles? For sure. My advice is you have to take one of these for a spin to see really the pure raw power of it. But if it's cars like these you want to see on Ready's Rise, leave a comment in the comment section. Definitely want to thank Alan, Cody, and the rest of the crew here at Furman BMW. So accommodating. If you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit the subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile coming back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Ready's Rise family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you on the channel, click the link in the description, get yourself some Ready's Rise merch. Got to give a big thanks to Tom Moschner, Big Guns McGee for his hard work. And just like always, I'll see you on the next ride.